Welcome to Under the Hood, the show that gives you an inside look into what Orbee is building with our dealership and industry partners and why we're building it. Today, we're going to talk about our partnership with Kain Automotive and how Orbee is taking a new approach to 20 group marketing. And we'll sort of follow up on Monday's episode about the shopper journey of purchasing an EV because NADA just reported on an interesting survey. So, Tool, where do you want to start?
Well, I just came back from 2 weeks of travel for David Kain, where he was hosting 220 groups. So I was able to participate in those sessions, and those were fantastic. I learned so much from the dealerships that were in there. So let's start on that.
Sweet, let's do it. Yeah. So if you didn't know, about 2 weeks ago, we released a press release. We're now partnering with Kain Automotive for his Kain Metrics 2.0. So 20 group composite for NCM's digital marketing 20 groups. Orbee has experience with 20 groups. So how is this different? What are we doing different this time with Kain?
Yeah, I feel like first and foremost, the delivery of the content and the importance of digital marketing metrics really comes from the top, from the organization. In this case, we're partnered with NCM indirectly via David Kain. And Kain himself is really a fantastic moderator that drills into the importance of digital marketing metrics, both for lead generation and now with our partnership, traffic to websites and other sort of user experiences. So what's different this time, as you know, we were powering NAD analytics for about 3 years, and that was really focused on traffic to the website using our analytics. What we're able to do now is we're converging lead data. This is third-party leads. Even I actually want to create a term, second-party leads, that will sort of initiate on this podcast and maybe build on it, which is widgets that are mostly closed off to the dealer, but yet they sit on the dealer's primary properties. So either their main website or within different sort of Facebook pages and custom landing pages. And third party, of course, are the ones that are created offsite and sent to the dealer. And so what we're talking about here is converging leads with traffic, because you can't actually see these things in isolation. When someone shops for a car, it's more likely than not that they're actually browsing across the internet, right? So on Google, there's aggregators buying media, like the Auto Traders and Cars.coms. Mm-hmm. And also in the organic listings are links out to those. So certainly you're going to reach some of your audience there. But also when that user fills out a form, they may have already been on your website days, weeks, months prior, or they're going to after. And it's the revisit that impacts the sale. And so by converging all of this together, you can now study all of the leads, all of the traffic, and create journeys of customers where it truly gives a better picture as to the influence these various marketing channels had. This is sort of your typical attribution problem. So that's the first thing that I'm excited about. This takes this sort of lead area and the traffic analytics and merges it. And we have a lot of features that allow us to do this more easily. So dealers can actually have all of their leads sort of carbon copied, if you will, to the Orbee platform, which then connects that user to the rest of their journey. And with our traffic analytics, we are able to identify individuals using first-party means. So you connect these two, and now you have complete journeys. So that's kind of the first exciting area that this thing is going to be introducing for the market.
So we're centralizing leads basically from different sources, showing them in one view, combining that with traffic analytics. But what are these 20 groups inputting to combine with the things that we're providing?
Yeah, so we have sort of a phased approach. Today, they're actually inputting the number of leads they got from different sources. And like I said earlier, these sources could range from dealer website all the way to third parties. And how much those leads cost, how many sales, and what was the gross on those sales. So we can calculate an ROI. So right now, of course, when you extract data from a CRM and you put it into this tool, you're going to get a single sort of last touch attribution, last classified attribution. That means if that lead was overwritten because it came from multiple sources, it's going to take the last source that it's been assigned to, and that's where the gross sales are going to be attributed. So obviously that's going to be a fundamental change. And what we're going towards is automated input. So since all the leads will flow through this analytics engine, now it will tally up all the different places that that lead had once come from. And we will be able to better attribute the gross sales against a multi-point attribution model.
Very cool. Very cool. So if you're interested in participating in that, obviously reach out to us or David Kain. Is this something we're going to release to like every dealership? That I see this working within groups. So, typically you have 20 groups with other dealerships, but you could theoretically do this like in your own group, right?
Absolutely. You can do this in your own group. It's almost like groups are serving as their own sort of 20 group. And we call that tier X on our end, which is a new kind of tier that we consider these dealers in. So yeah, Chris, these features that are making it easy for us to work with Kain and NCM on this program is already baked into our system. What's different, obviously, within the 20 group setting is the ability to compare and benchmark, but just analyzing your own leads coming from third parties and second party and first party, combining that into a single view and understanding what's really impacting your bottom line is important even for a single point. And we have those capabilities now in the system. And we're actually introducing, given that I've been learning a lot from the market in participating in this, I've been coming back to the tech team and the reporting team here at Orbee and saying, we should do more with the data that's being captured. I mean, we have tremendous amounts of data, but as a software company, you do your best to bring out different reportings and views and dashboards. So I've been learning a lot, and we've been trying to identify how we're going to present it. So over the next few weeks here, we are going to have some amazing new reporting UIs specifically for leads that are generated across the spectrum. So that's going to help change a lot of views. And there's a couple of vendors and partners that are out there that do elements of this for dealers. But again, this is going to be centralized in the same platform that is doing everything else that Orbee provides.
Nice. That's why I'm excited about recording this show, because we're talking about what's kind of happening that is shaping Orbee's roadmap. And then when those things are live, we can kind of present them here for everybody to see and use. So we'll circle back to that when there is some UI to show. That'll be fun.
Awesome.
So one last thing, we'll just touch on the Monday's episode and talking about the shopper journey. And right now, EVs, we use the Ford Lightning example, and just how they sent a tool out, a survey, trying to understand what he's interested in. And the experience it's just hard to tell. And we kind of compared it to Cadillac's website, where they have a really interactive, almost 3D sort of experience. That
I even did a live video stream.
Right. So they have like a live walkthrough. It's funny. I hadn't heard of that before. I know a lot of tech companies, SaaS platforms are doing that, where they have scheduled webinar demos. but now the OEMs are doing that as well. So that's cool. But I think at the end we took away that like consumers are still doing a lot of their research on YouTube because their needs aren't being met at the OEM and dealership level. And this survey found that yes, the content to educate the consumers on EVs still isn't there. So you are going to see people going to the dealership still to purchase these EVs, even though there's this whole movement where you're trying to convince people to purchase online with EVs. It's a new sort of wave. I don't think it's going to happen, and this survey kind of reports on that.
Yeah, the survey is a great. It's very timely because there is this. I believe this miscorrelation between sort of this digital retailing phenomenon and EVs, and they're unrelated. It's not like if your phone changed to a different format that all of a sudden, some people wouldn't want to go to their Apple store, their Samsung store, their wireless company store. So I feel like that correlation has made it almost a distraction. In fact, with EVs being added to the equation, not only are you dealing with make model, right, and all the data and the customer journeys around that, you almost have a new menu item or a menu segment, if you will, where you've got EVs on one side and ICE on the other, and how are you going to actually do this, right? Not every brand is going to spin up a second sister company that is specifically for EVs. So it's going to have to be part of that journey. And the data and the way you actually use the CDP and marketing automation is going to get even sort of more tested in terms of its robustness and its capabilities, with this idea that consumers still want to go to stores, still are going to browse a lot on the internet. Websites are going to fundamentally have to change, and we'll have to do better at capturing those segments. So I think the study is something I'm excited about using as a backdrop to everything we've been saying for 6 months now.
I just want to point out a parallel. It just hit me. You know how I think you have to earn over time and experience, you have to earn the ability to reach consumers and convince them to purchase 100% online. And I thought of Apple. Okay, when the iPhones were first coming out, do you remember the lines and the tents?
Oh yes,
that were outside? The demand was huge, but I think even weeks after the release, people were still going to the store because it was a new thing.
It was an experience.
They wanted to feel it, see it. But now you're at a point where you're at iPhone 14. Look, I'm going to get one, but I don't need to go to the store anymore. I kind of know what to expect. The updates are communicated well through their keynotes and stuff. So it kind of fades away over time.
Yeah, although, I sort of, you're right that over time you get more and more comfortable. Now, this is iPhone 14. Like maybe we could revisit this topic like when it's the Ford F-150 10.
Yeah, Lightning
0.0.
Yeah.
But even with the new iPads that likely are coming out next month, I still would want to go touch it. There's something about experiencing it. And I was thinking about this even over the weekend. A vehicle is such a big purchase. I mean, even these EVs, but really any vehicle from $15,000 to $50,000. I mean, for the first time car buyer. I mean, how do you pony up that much investment and buy completely online and digital? And would you do that with renting an apartment? Would you do that with buying a house? I don't buy it. I really don't. And this is why, instead of being distracted by those elements of like different vendors, different tools, different experiences that are forcing that, dealers need to come back to the basics and really understand what their consumers are doing with their brand experiences, with everything that the dealer has to offer. And what groups especially need to do is start thinking about consumers affiliating their car buying journeys, buying and servicing journeys with the group, not with individual rooftops. So a lot of opportunity. The EVs are only going to make it even more compelling to do advanced marketing. So
yeah, we'll kind of wrap up here. Quick shout out though, event season is in full swing. The team went to a SotoCon, and then I guess NAMAD's coming up. I think we're sending Peter there. You were going to go, but you're going to a 20 group thing now?
Yeah, I'm going to a 20 group, a super group that is sort of a private group amongst some of our investors. So I'm excited about that. There'll be about 400 rooftops sort of in that room. A powerhouse.
We'll definitely talk about what goes on in there, what we're allowed to talk about at least. And after that, Digital Dealer. So myself and Brian Davis will be there. Are you swinging by?
I am. I'm going to be coming from Florida out to Las Vegas. So I'll see you guys there.
Cool. So yeah, reach out to us if you want to hang out at Digital Dealer. We'll be around. And that's it for today.